Okay, ready, go.
So multi-strata systems are about perennial polycultures of multi-purpose plants. So we're working largely with perennial plants, um, and each of which expresses multiple products for people and functions in the agro-ecosystem, how they help each other. And what I've been learning as I travel around the world is that the basic patterns of polycultures are very similar wherever you may go. The basic elements that we put together, the pieces that we combine to make them, and the ways in which we combine them, there's really only so many basic patterns of doing that. So here we have a nitrogen-fixing plant, nitrogen-fixing woody plant with a climbing edible vine growing on it. It happens that here, that plant is false indigo, and the vine climbing on it is a perennial being, but this could be Madre de Cacao with black pepper climbing on it. Depending on where you are in the world, it could be a mesquite with lima beans climbing on it if you're in the desert. So we're looking to identify these meta patterns and make it quicker and easier for people to design polycultures at the home, garden, farm, and landscape scale. So there's some other kind of meta patterns that we see here, like the use of medicinal plants. Plants that attract beneficial insects. In this case, it's aster, and over here we have mountain mint, which attracts beneficial insects and is also a tea plant. Common thing we want to do in the shade is grow mushrooms, and I kid you not, while we were filming this, we found these shiitake mushrooms fruiting right here from an old shiitake log. So mushrooms, a great component for shade in when the systems are humid enough. Behind me we have josta berries, which is a somewhat shade-tolerant fruit. Again, that's a pattern that repeats around the world. It might be where you are currants, or it might be Chilean guava, or it might be cacao, but there are these shade-tolerant fruits wherever you may be. Underneath we have useful native plants like perennial ground cherry. We have perennial vegetables like garlic, chives. Back behind us we have chestnut starting to come in as a new canopy to fill in for this area. That would be a canopy staple perennial crop. So these patterns are what we're looking for, and on the database you'll be able to find a global inventory of polycultures with nitrogen-fixing shrubs with something climbing on them. You can search all the patterns like that in the world, all the polycultures that fit in that pattern, and all of those meta patterns, so you can help to use this to design polycultures for where you are. And that's actually the tool that I'm personally most excited about, is that we'll be able to learn so much from each other from this user-generated system, developing a pattern language together, and really helping to remove one of the key barriers to implementing these systems, which is coming up with the design of polycultures.